Very good evening, viewers. My dear students, how are you all? I hope you all are fine. Am I right? Okay, so it's our sixth video of the lecture series. Okay, so in my previous video, I have discussed one important aspect for you all, the B.SC, BCom and BA first semester students, regarding your syllabus pattern, syllabus structure, means what you will learn in this compulsory environment study and disaster management paper throughout the semester. Okay, and at last I have also discussed about your question pattern. Okay, means what will be there, the question pattern means you have to appear two examinations. So after few months, means one or 2 months, your one internal exam you will appear, then university examination of 80 marks. Okay. So the entire pattern is discussed in your previous video. Okay, so if you have any doubt, you can go to my previous video and watch that. Okay, so today we will discuss about a new chapter, that is environmental pollution. In one video also we have covered about water pollution and air pollution. So today we will discuss soil pollution and radiation pollution. What do we mean by soil pollution? Then we will discuss something about soil and what is pollution, what are the sources of pollution, then what are the impact of soil pollution and radiation pollution on human health and other health of the other animals, and so also effect on plants. Okay, and then we will see how we can prevent these pollutions. Okay, so let us discuss. And after another 1 2 or another some classes, I will bring the multiple choices and some important questions. Okay, important question patterns which will help you a lot to appear your examinations. Okay, so let us see. So look, we will discuss about soil pollution. So what is soil? You know, soil means it is one important abiotic component of your environment, isn't it? So soil is known as, scientifically known as, lithosphere, which covers your soil and rocks. And rocks are nothing but they are the parental body of soil. Means from rock soil is prepared, or soil is formed, which takes several millions years. So it's a very slow process. Okay, then formation of soil from the parent material. Who is parent material? I told you that is rock, or rock is present in bed like structure, that's why this is called as bedrock. Okay, and mechanical weathering of rocks by temperature changes, then different chemical activities, wind, then moving water, glaciers, chemical weathering activities, lichens. Okay, so these factors, they help in the degradation of your rock. Okay, and gradually soil is formed. So under ideal climatic conditions, soft parent materials may develop into 1 centimeter of soil within 15 years. Okay, so from this we can know that to develop 1 centimeter of soil, it is at least 15 years. It takes at least 15 years. Okay, so when soil will be matured one, then we will find different layers on it. Okay, so when initially soil is formed up to 1 centimeter, there we will not get any soil profile or soil layers. But when soil will be of matured type or after few years, okay, then we will get only these layers. So what are these? So all the soil layers you see here in the picture, okay. So first or uppermost layer is known as O horizon, where your plant grows, okay. So O horizon means, that is O refers for organic material, means on the upper layer of the surface you will get maximum content of organic substances, okay. So that is your O horizon, and that is basically composed of humus. Then below to that is your A horizon, and that is known as also topsoil. Then below to A horizon you have E horizon, means elevation layer. Then below to that B horizon, that is subsoils. Then C horizon, then R horizon. R horizon means, see here how the soil is formed gradually. So R horizon means this is the parent layer of the soil, or from which soil is formed. So these are your bedrocks. So from these bedrocks, means R horizon, gradually your due to chemical weathering, means different chemical factors, different physical factors, for example sunlight, gradual rainfalls, okay. So it started to disintegrate, and after disintegration it is torn to smaller pieces. Then from R horizon generate your C horizon, then from C horizon B, then from B E. In this way you will get a matured soil having different developed soil layers after several years, okay. Are you clear? Okay. So why soil has important in the ecosystem? What are the importance of soil for our ecosystem? So as you know, the microbes, they live in the soil, okay. And for the anchoring of the plants, or for the growth of the plants, they require soil nutrients, they require anchorage of their root, okay. For that also soil is very much important. Then to maintain the groundwater, also soil is important, isn't it? Then your different chemical cycling, it also needs the presence of soil. Then for the decomposition activities, it is also possible due to the presence of soil layers, okay. So nowadays due to different factors like your population growth, industrialization, then lack of awareness, we are throwing some unwanted, unhygienic and non-degradable substances on the soil surface, okay, which creates soil pollution, or which pollute the soil, which affects the your composition of the soil. So what do we mean by soil pollution? In my previous lecture I told you that pollution is derived from one Latin word pollutionum, which means to make dirty, or to make your, or to make dirty, okay, or to defile. So pollution, when we will say that pollution is going on, so pollution is there means the alteration or the property, chemical property, physical property and biological property of soil will change, okay. So soil pollution, why it is caused? It is caused by the presence of chemicals or other alteration in the natural soil environment, resulting in a change of soil quality, okay, and likely to affect the normal use of the soil, or endangering public health and the living environment, okay. So my dear students, you can also prepare your notes, okay, from this teaching, which will help you in your upcoming examination, okay. And also if you will appear any competitive examination also, this will help you a lot in future, because in every competitive you will get some common questions which will be from this environment section. Okay, so soil pollution, it affects human health and other animals health and also the growth pattern of the plants. Okay, then see here, so what are the components of soil? So basically soil contains organic matter, then some water and air. Okay, so organic matter contains 45% of the entire composition, then soil water 25% and soil air 25%, and rest 5% is occupied by organic matter. So when pollution will take place, then this will contaminate or pollute the soil, means the composition will alter, will change. Okay, so what are the sources of soil pollution? Means the what are the places or the points from where different soil pollutants are coming and polluting the soil. So these major sources are industrial waste, urban waste, agricultural waste, radioactive pollutants, and biological agents. They are very much responsible for altering the properties of the soil. Okay, so these are the major sources of soil pollution. So if soil will be polluted, then it will affect the microorganisms, it will affect the crop quality. Okay, and it will affect the biogeochemical cycle, it will affect the growth of your plants. So then question comes, how we can check this soil pollution? So first and important thing is to create awareness. If we will aware about the causes, sources, then we can prevent it. Okay, then second thing is we can stop the production of soil pollutant from source level. Okay, then third thing is we will not dump any chemical substance or any hazardous substance on the soil surface. Okay, then if we are dumping it, then after treating these substances we will dump it on the ground surface. Then next is your bioremediation. Bioremediation means the use of naturally occurring microorganisms such as bacteria, fungi and plant to break down or degrade toxic chemicals compound that have accumulated in the environment. This process is known as bioremediation. Okay, it is a method that treats the soil and renders them non-hazardous, means it convert the soil which is accumulated by different types of hazardous substances or pollutants to non-hazardous. Okay, thus eliminating any future liability that may result from landfill problems. Okay, so bioremediation is one important technique which helps in your eradicating the soil pollution. Okay, so these are some important thing regarding your soil pollution. Next come to radiation pollution. Okay, so radiation pollution is nowadays the it affects a lot, and its quantity is also increased or enhanced up to many folds. Okay, so radiation refers to the process that is concerned with the passage of energy between places through space. Okay, this is radiation. So it is the radiation generated by sun that regulates the temperature of earth, isn't it, my dear students? Are you listening or sleeping? Okay, so we can classify the your these radiation into two types. One is ionizing and non-ionizing type. Okay, here in figure you can see that there are some ionizing radiation and some non-ionizing radiations are also there. Okay, so ionizing radiation are X-rays, gamma rays, cosmic rays. and there are other non-ionizing radiation like radio waves, microwaves, infrared, visible light, ultraviolet rays. Okay, so your ionizing and non-ionizing radiation. Then ionizing radiation applied to radiation which has the ability to penetrate tissue and deposits its energy within them. Okay, this is ionizing radiation. Then ionizing radiation is having very high energy and is represented by alpha, beta particles and gamma rays, and is associated with ionization of molecules, means atoms. This form is an important source of environmental pollution nowadays. And ionizing radiation, that is we can say radioisotopes, is produced from materials on lithosphere also, and this can also be obtained directly from space. Then non-ionizing radiation means solar radiation. Okay, and can cause superficial damage or injuries to living cells. The microbes can also be effectively inactivated by the use of non-ionizing radiation like UV rays. So, there are some types of radiation like electromagnetic radiations and particulate or corpuscular radiations. So, electromagnetic radiations means this is emitted in the sunlight. For example, ultraviolet rays, infrared, gamma and X-rays and micro radio waves. Okay, they are well known forms of electromagnetic radiation, and ultraviolet rays generated by the sun and cast a lasting effect on the living matter. Okay, then particulate or corpuscular radiations, they produced by the release of the component electron like alpha and beta particles, proton and neutron of an atom from a radioactive substance. The radioactive particles can be of alpha, beta, neutron, proton and cosmic type. Okay, so these are about your radiation. Then come to what is radioactive pollution. Okay, so radioactive pollution is defined as the increase in the natural radiation level. So, till yet we see that what are the radiation? Okay, natural radiation. These are occurring from soil, from space. Okay, but problem arises when this quantity increases. Okay, so natural radiation levels when it increased and caused by particularly human activities, and it is estimated that about 20% of radiation we are exposed to is due to human activities. Okay, and the human activities that can release radiation involve activities with radioactive materials such as mining, handling and processing of radioactive materials, handling and storage of radioactive waste, as well as the use of radioactive reactions to generate energy. Okay, along with the use of radiation in medicines also. For example, X-rays. Suppose we have some disease and we are going for endoscopy, then your different scanning. Okay, so in which X-rays are used and research also. Then, but what about microwaves, cell phones, radio transmitters, wireless devices, computers, and other common commodities of today's life? You will be astonished that a great quantity of radiation is also released from these home appliances. Okay, so sources of radiation are different. We have some natural sources, there are some environmental sources, there are some man-made sources. Okay, so natural source is your in the space, cosmic rays, we can say cosmic rays. Okay, so those who are strong in physics or in plus 2. If you have learned your physics properly, then you can understand betterly that cosmic rays, it originates in outer space and weakened as they pass through the atmosphere. Okay, ତେଣୁ ଯେତେବେଳେ so it originates in outer space and gradually weakened. Okay, so what is environmental sources? So environmental sources are of two types. One is terrestrial radiation, another is atmospheric radiation. So terrestrial radiation means radioactive elements present in man's environment, means soil, rock, buildings, and examples are thorium, uranium, radium, and isotopes of potassium. Okay, then atmospheric radiation means radiation released in the atmosphere. For example, radon and thoron, they are considered as major pollutants of the atmosphere. Okay, my dear students, are you getting my point? Is there any doubt? Okay. So these are all simple things you have already discussed in your college plus 2 level. Okay, so it will not be a great problem for your understanding. If any doubt, then you ask me in the comment section. Okay. So internal radiation are also there. For example, radioactive matter stored in the body tissue such as uranium, thorium, related substances, then isotopes of potassium, then strontium and carbon. Okay. Then man-made or artificial sources. For example, X-rays. They are used vastly in medical and dental X-ray. Then radioactive fallout means nuclear explosion release a tremendous amount of energy in the form of heat, light, ionizing radiation, and many radioactive substances such as isotopes of carbon, strontium, iodine, cesium. Okay, so they are having their isotopes of carbon. Okay, so the half life of strontium and cesium are 28 years and 30 years respectively. Okay, half life period means the time taken to decay 50% of its substance is known as half life period. It is 30 years for cesium and 28 years for strontium, and also liberated a large amount of radiation to the atmosphere. Then some everyday appliances such as a TV set that we are watching in our home, LED television sets and luminous wrist watches are also release radioactive pollutant to the atmosphere. Then there are some units for radiation. So radiation can be expressed in various units. For example, Curie, then your rad, rem, Roentgen. Okay, so a Curie is a unit of decay which refers to 37 billion atoms decaying per second. Then the impact of radioactivity is measured in what has been termed as dose. Okay, then rad. Rad means radiation absorbed dose. It refers to the energy received per unit of material exposed. And 100 org per gram is equivalent to 1 rad. Okay, and the effect of radiation on biological material is measured in rem. Rem means Roentgen equivalent man. Then radiologists frequently use the unit R. R referred to Roentgen while conducting X-ray examination. So during the X-ray examination, the unit used is known as R, that refers for Roentgen. Okay. So these are all about your units and what are the effects. So as I told you earlier that it puts its effect on your different living organisms, means on man and different animals and also on plant. So there are somatic effect and genetic effect. Somatic effect means on the cell. Okay, it affects our cells, but genetic means it will affect your in your gene level. That is more your harmful. Okay, so somatic effects. What are the somatic effect of radiation? So single dose whole body exposure of 25 rads. 25 rad means, I told you, rad means unit. Okay, so may not lead to any observable changes, but 100 rads cause vomiting and fatigue. Okay, so if the dose in rad will be more than or equivalent to 100 rads, then it will cause vomiting and fatigue. Okay, so radioactive sickness, acute radiation syndromes will occur. A dose of 400 to 500 roentgens. Roentgen, I told you, that is used for use of X-rays, isn't it? So a dose of 400 to 500 roentgens on whole body fatal in 50% cases, and 600 to 700 are in all cases. Okay, then in delay cases it creates leukemia, means blood cancer. Then carcinogenesis means different cancer causing. Then fetal developmental abnormalities. Fetal means inside the mother's womb the child will be abnormal. Okay, then shortening of life means the lifespan will be reduced. Then what are the genetic effects? It affects the chromosomal mutation associated with sterility. If you will continuously exposed to radiation, then you may become sterile, or sterility will be obtained. Okay, then point mutations means it affects gene. So the zoology background students, they can easily understand zoology and botany. Okay, so biology students, they can easily understand what is point mutation, what is chromosomal mutation. Okay, so this radiation affect them in the genetic level also. So how we can control this radiation hazard or radiation pollution? So at first, monitoring and prevention of leakage. So you know that where there are different industries or radioactive operating with radioactive substances, they should monitor their leakage in regular interval of time. Okay, from natural and man-made sources. Then care should be taken while handling radioisotopes and managing the atomic power reactors. Okay, otherwise there is every chance of exposure of radiation substances from those industries. Okay, then the disposal of radioactive wastes must be done under strict supervision, so that no leakage occur to contaminate food, water and air. And if these work will be done by any unexpertised member, then what will happen? It will affect the entire process, and there will be possibility of leakage of substances. Then nuclear explosion are carried in way that no scattering of radiation is allowed to occur. Okay, then necessary protective clothing is one important factor. Means when someone is working with radioactive substances, he or she has to wear or use some protecting clothes. For example, aprons, gloves. Okay, so that it will not affect their body. Then recommendation of Internal Atomic Energy Agency. There is one agency known as International Atomic Energy Agency, which is abbreviated by IAEA, and another institution like International Commission on Radiological Protection, that is ICRP, and WHO, World Health Organization. Okay, should be taken into consideration. Then with this, our today's lecture will be finished. So this slide is only for your revision purpose. Means see here, these are the equipments or your clothing pattern what you should or someone should wear during the exposure towards the your radioactive substances. Okay, when you are handling with these substances, this is apron, gloves. Okay, and anti-radiation stickers should be there in your phone, because you know from phone a high quantity of your radiation is released. Okay, so anti-stickering system should be there. Then your different protectors should be used, and no smoking, because from smoking also radiation comes. Okay, so with this today we will complete our lecture, and in next class we will discuss about some other types of pollution. Those are in your syllabus, that is regarding your light pollution and industrial pollution. Okay, so if you have any doubt regarding this lecture, then you can ask me in the comment section, and I will be happy to answer your queries. Okay guys, thank you. We will meet in our next video. Up to that, you learn your um, syllabus properly and go through these chapters. Thank you all.